Blog Talk Radio. Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard. Chatting with Nat. Yes, it's Natalie Jean. It's Nathalie Jean. Today we have R&B artist Laura Cheadle. If you're longing for some real music that you can feel in your heart, lyrics that speak to your soul, and a live performance with the power to blow the roof off the sky, you can stop right here. If you're tired of all the stage choreography, blinding light shows, caves, costumes, lip-syncing, and autotunes that seem to have taken over live performances, you have found a place to rest, refresh, and renew. Welcome to the world of Laura Cheadle. Along with her family band, she has opened for some of the biggest names in the business and won numerous awards, including Best Indie Jazz Blues Band at WXPN-sponsored Tri-State Indie Music Awards. She has performed on stages from New York to London, appeared on 6 ABCs, tuned in as the very first viewer's choice, the NBC 10 show, and the national reality show Next Great Family Band. Laura was recently featured in Curve magazine and named one of 100 women we love in Go magazine and declared a superwoman in South Jersey magazine for her active charity work. As Traveler Guitar's newest brand ambassador, her solo career is starting to explode, performing at a set at NAMM 2020, filming specialized performance and educational video segments for Next Level Guitar site, and having recently been honored with the Musician of the Decade Award for her body of work and trend-setting style. One of her original compositions was recently included in a popular TV show, and she participated in a Philadelphia film project with a seamlessly acted feature role in the short film Ether. So, we're going to give her a round of applause when she shows up, but in the meantime, we'll give her like 5 minutes. In the meantime, let's play one of her songs, Give You Me for Christmas. Since we're around that time, can you believe it's almost time for Christmas? So let's play it.
Trying to blow your mind. Spend my whole day hoping to find the perfect find. This year nothing came to me, nothing seemed to fit. But baby, then it hit me. What would be the perfect gift? Giving you me for Christmas. I'm wrapped up under the tree. Giving you me for Christmas. Baby, come and unwrap me. Last year what I gave you was good enough, I guess. And I know you liked me in my brand new Christmas dress. But this year, my baby, you're going to enjoy. What I'm about to lay on you is better than any toy. I'm giving you me for Christmas. I'm wrapped up under the tree. I'm giving you me for Christmas. Baby, come and unwrap me. I'm giving you me for Christmas. Baby, come on, unwrap me. Giving you me for Christmas. Baby, come and unwrap me. Said I'm giving you me for Christmas. Baby, come and unwrap me. I'm giving you me for Christmas. Baby, come unwrap me. Woo!
That's the applause for Laura Cheadle. We now have her on the line, so let's bring her on. Hi, Laura.
Hello. Hey.
How are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
I'm fantastic. So, what was I going to say? How have you been during this crazy pandemic, cray-cray movement that we've all been going through?
Well, I actually made it a point to not sit around and just, dwell in all the craziness going on and all the things on social media where people were all down. So I actually ended up writing an entire album during the pandemic. And I really, really made it something to really be inspired, because you know what? We have, as musicians, we really need to spread some positivity because people are dying for some art. And I think it's been a really good use of my time.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I spoke to a lot of people and they said that, that you did use the time to be more creative. So kudos to you for that. One of the questions I like to ask is this question. As we can see, the pandemic has been a horrifying situation. There have been pros and cons to the pandemic. Obviously, the cons are people died or they lost their limbs or they're still going through lingering effects. But the pros is that people had time to self-reflect about their different careers, not even just music, just whatever career they're in. I mean, for myself, and I tell people this all the time, I saw family members walking together in the street. That's not something that's supposed to be odd, but in my neighborhood it was, because you just don't see that all the time. I mean, I had friends that said they're coming back on work because they realized they weren't spending enough time with friends. Then you had climate change. The pollution went down. Animals were happy. The trees were happy. Everybody was, nature was happy without us out there. You just had, people quit their jobs. I read several articles on that. They said, you know what, right now I want to do something that I'm happy doing, not just about money. And then we have artists. I know some people rebranded, some people created music, but more or less people started to self-reflect about the artist they wanted to be perceived as. If they want to be an effective player, what kind of music are they going to write? So during that downtime, besides writing a new album, did you have time to self-reflect about who you want to be as an artist? Are you happy with the way that you are? Is anything going to change? What did you think about?
I think my music definitely turned even more positive, because I think it was a good way for myself to heal and myself to, honestly, what you were saying, self-reflect. And a lot of the stuff that I was writing, it was actually a song called Shine This Lifetime I wrote, and that came out of 5 minutes. And I remember when I wrote it, my whole being started feeling better and everything. And I noticed, I ended up during the pandemic filming a music video with this local videographer. It was just me and him on set, and that video is really, a lot of people have said, you know what, I was having a really crappy day and I listened to that song. So I think that's something that really manifested from this entire experience and this crazy COVID time.
It's every day you turn around, there's a new variant. So it's just like, when is this going to end? When is it going to end? I mean, it's just like, you know what? I told somebody yesterday, at this point, we just should call the variant a friend and just say, okay, you're here, but we're going to some of us will get vaccinated, boosters or whatever, but you're going to have to stay at a distance because we have to continue with our lives. So it's just annoying. It's just flipping annoying. what made you decide that music and it was going to be your thing? Is it something that you watched? Is it something that you heard? I mean, what was it that you were like, okay, Laura and music are one?
It's funny because I grew up in music. My dad is a Philadelphia legend. He was signed to Columbia Records at 19
wow.
years old. He toured with everybody. Teddy Pendergrass. He was a songwriter for April Blackwood Music. So I grew up literally with famous musicians in my basement. So I was around music always. But it's funny because I wasn't pushed into it. It just felt extremely natural for me to pick up a guitar and start playing and singing. And my family are actually in my band, my dad and my brothers. So it's literally been everything I've ever known. And I love it because it's always something different. You're going to meet someone differently, and it's a way to express your soul that many other people don't get to use that outlet for.
Right. And why did you decide on the quote-unquote R&B genre?
It's funny. Currently I'm doing some R&B, but I'm more of like, I don't like to actually, I just signed with Sony Orchard of Sony Music. They kind of put me in, which is awesome, R&B.
Right.
But I think more I'm just funky. Everything, all the undertones of my music have a soul feeling. So, I mean, I have 9 albums and they're all different. So, R&B is funky. I think of R&B not as like modern R&B and more of like bluesy R&B. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking too when I listened to your music and I watched you perform. That it's not straight R&B. You put a little funk to it, a little and a lot of soul into it. Very blues. There's some moments that were very bluesy as well. So, and I'm like you. I write for several and perform many different genres. So I get it. I actually hate the question of, okay, what is your genre? Because I like to create whatever I want to create, how I want to create it. Right now I'm focused on Americana. I like that genre because there's so many genres within it, and I can get away with a lot of stuff. But I understand where you're coming from with your music. So, how important is it for you to be authentic in your music?
So important. I actually preach about this all the time. I use all organic instruments. I don't like copy and pasting, things like that. Nothing that there's wrong with that, because I do a lot of film and TV work where there's a lot of that. So that I don't mean that at all in a bad way. But for me, I love hearing the drums. I like hearing a little bit of an imperfection in a vocal scale, anything, because it's so raw and it's so real. I think I grew up with all real instruments around me. Like, we'll do the drum track separately. We'll do everything. And there's something about it because people are dying for creativity now and genuine.
I mean, I've been telling people this this year alone, I really realized how much the world is craving authenticity in the world, period. Especially authenticity in regards to artists, because, with the whole mess that we had to go through, the pandemic and the elections and George Floyd and all the stuff, and then fake news, not news, this, that, blah, 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 blah. People want something that's real. They want to gravitate to something that they can relate to. They want to be able to say, hey, Laura, they want to DM it. That song really got to me. You get me. And I say this all the time, I don't like to poo-poo on the mainstream artists, but poo-poo. In the regards to a lot of that is just about fame. A lot of them don't even write their own music. I mean, I heard that Beyonce has one song that has 12 songwriters on it. That's just ridiculous. So people want what's real. And what was great about the pandemic is that people had downtime to actually listen to different artists out there. They weren't just listening to mainstream artists because we had, live streaming. We were doing a bunch of different things. And now people are just like, hey, I've got to listen to this because these people truly get me. These people are real and they are authentic. Now, when I look at, because I did a webinar on TikTok and they said the videos that are the most popular, and they tell you to do 5 videos a day. Who has time for that? But are the ones that are the most authentic because they are relatable. They are videos that people can do or emulate or whatever, or say, oh my God, if somebody's talking about depression, they say, yes, girl, I understand that. I got that. So authenticity is the new thing. It just is.
Yeah, because people, you can't, the one great thing about social media is you can hide a lot of things, but people, when I put up a video of just me playing guitar in my bed, it'll get like 10,000 more hits than, you know, a produced video. It's insane because people want to see authenticity so much.
I know. It's very important. People are just tired of the fakeness. They want the real. That's the bottom line. So I see that you've toured with many amazing artists. Besides your family, which performer has been your favorite to share the stage with?
I would definitely say, and it's funny because even my parents are a little young for the Monkees, but we toured with Peter Tork of the Monkees, and he watched every sound check. He brought us backstage. He treated us like human beings. So, you know, sometimes I won't mention when you open for someone, you're definitely treated like the opener. You know what I'm saying? He treated us so well. He passed away a few years ago, but I can't tell you how much he meant to us and just treating us. He brought my mom on stage saying Daydream Believer. Crazy. So, you know, and it's amazing. You know, you can really tell kind people, and kind people resonate in anybody in life, and he was just one of those people.
What is your writing process like? And if you get writer's block, how do you deal with that?
It's funny. Before the pandemic, I hadn't written in like 4 or 5 years. And then during the pandemic, I just started writing. And but there's never like a technical way of how I write. Sometimes I'll have a melody in my head for a year and the lyrics come, or it's all at once. But I'm the most least technical human being alive. So there's no mathematical everything. So it just kind of comes right from the heart.
I love that. Now, do you ever get writer's block?
I actually did before the pandemic. Yeah, I was because you know what, I wasn't inspired by my surroundings, and I have since then changed that. Yeah,
it's interesting. For me, during the pandemic, I was just like, oh no, I'm void. I was just void of everything. Just void. I was just like, I'm not doing it. And then once, you know, this year is just like, I gotta release 6, 7 singles back to back.
Oh, I know.
Never doing that scrap again. I'm not doing it. Nope. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking of like the marketing and promo aspect of things, that I would just have to be like promoing and marketing every single day and trying to come up with ideas, which is like the worst part of everything. I mean, I love this music business, but let me tell you, oh my God, that stuff can get on your nerves because you're on not Spotify. You're on Instagram. You're on Facebook. You're on Twitter. You're on Snap, whatever it is. And
it's exhausting.
It's exhausting. And if you're a person that's doing everything yourself, it's basically annoying. You know, and somebody told me it's a lot. And somebody told me, you know, when you post, you should post something different on each site. I was like, okay.
Oh God, you can do that.
Exactly. I'm like, I just came up with this one idea, but you want me to come up with 5, 6, 7? No. It's not happening. It's a
decision, like in the past month or two, to just take a step back and post really important things that I want to post and just relax.
Exactly.
And not have to do a show every weekend was also something that I decided. You know, it's because people will come out and see you more often when it's like special and you're building it up. That's something also that I have taught myself in the past year or two.
You just reminded me of something. So during the pandemic, somebody contacted me for this thing called Sessions, and some famous person that started it, and they just sent me an email 3 days ago. Oh, you know, we're inviting you to do something December 27th. We just want to make sure your account is. I said, yes, I'll do it tonight. I still haven't done it because I've been so. There's just not enough. Not enough hours. Ugh. Jeez, it's just. Ugh. Okay. Now, I played your song before you got on. You Give You Me for Christmas. Tell us about
Christmas, baby. That's funny because this song, my favorite Christmas song, has always been Santa Baby, number one. Because it's funny. I sang Santa Baby in 8th grade, which was really ridiculous. And I wrote this song, Giving Me for Christmas, just hilariously enough with my father, which is really crazy because it's literally a song about being unwrapped under the tree. And when I signed with Sony Orchard distribution, that was the song they wanted to release as my first single, and it has been getting quite the response. Someone actually called it the most savage Christmas song they've ever heard.
Oh,
so
really?
I kind of love it. A lot of attitude, and it's really fun to sing it sexually. You know what? Christmas can be sexy. Why not?
Why not? I mean, listen.
Why not?
I love that you say that. I love that you say that because
Yeah.
I'm all about unconventional holiday songs because I wrote one, mine's out too, and when I sat down and wrote it, I was just like trying to do the typical, and I'm like, what am I doing? Because I said that's not me. I don't like to do the
Right.
usual. Oh, we're prancing through the snow, holding hands, jingle bells. No. So kudos to you for writing something different and adding sex to it. Why not?
Yeah, right, baby. Sex positive.
They need. Listen. They need that in the world. It can't be all, and not to poo-poo on the normal, holiday songs. The world needs something different out there, something exciting, something to say. Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh my God, I love the way she did that because I sent my one song somewhere, and the person said at first when they were listening, they were like, "Oh, is this a holiday?" And then they listened to the lyrics, and they're like, "Oh, this is just a different way." That's what you want. You want to grab somebody and say, "Oh my God,
Exactly.
this is different. I love this. Let me follow this person." So great. And
Exactly.
here's the thing with the music industry that gets on my nerves also is that I've been to many music conventions, and they'll always say, if you're going to write a song for Rihanna, give her something different. And then when you give them that different thing, the people are like, well, this is not what Rihanna would do. I mean, it's so fickle. They want it, they don't want it. You want something different because if you listen to the radio these days, it's the same damn thing over and over and over and over and over and again.
It's exhausting.
And one of the things, and I had this conversation with somebody else, is that it seems like the radio stations, obviously it's pay to play, they just want to inundate you with the same artist, so you'll never know any other artist. So you only go to Swift, Adele, Beyonce, Kanye, all these people. Unless you keel over, that's the only time somebody may swoop in and say, or that you have millions of dollars, swoop in and say, okay, here's a new artist. And I think that's just sad that we're inundated with the same artists. I mean, what do you think about that?
I mean, it's been that pay-to-play kind of, thing for a while. My dad's, taught me very well about the music industry and, even from him in the 70s when he was doing things in the 80s, he told me, it really changed. And, these mainstream artists are good, but you know what? There's so much out there. I never listen to the radio. Never. Because it drives me insane.
It's funny that you say that because the only time I truly listen to the radio is when I'm in my car. Other than that, I don't. I do listen to some stuff on Pandora, and I would say Pandora, Spotify, and Apple Music.
Oh, I love Pandora. People make fun of me for that. I love Pandora. You know what? You can have different. It always changes. You have a different I love the whole model of it.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm a fan.
Yeah, and they shuffle, and then there's one good thing about Pandora is that it's the way that you can promo yourself as an independent artist.
Yes.
Great tools for that. Where the others are just like, okay, you can submit to our Spotify playlist, but you may never get on one. But go ahead and try. Tell us about your signing with So Bold Entertainment, Sony Music. How did that come about?
So this is wild. Here I was, the pandemic, but I was busting my butt the pandemic doing live streams, and I got a message on Instagram, and I thought someone was messing with me. I mean, mind you, I've been working my butt off for years and years, and So Bold is a management company that is tied into Sony Orchard, Sony Music, and they offered me a distribution deal. I have a music lawyer, so I really did my due diligence, and it's a great thing for me because it's a bigger platform, but it's also not a record deal, which also comes with a lot. So distribution deal, basically, they're distributing me under the Sony name, which is huge for me, and I'm already getting a lot more feedback opportunities, and I'll be touring in January under that name. So it's exciting.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
And you are a great performer, so I think you're going to have a sold-out show.
Oh yeah, I love performing live. That's where I thrive.
Oh my God. So tell us more about your new Christmas album, Let's Get Together for Christmas.
Yes, it was just released. It has a ton of soulful originals and also some soulful covers, classic covers.
Okay.
Giving You Me is the main single, but there are tons on there. I even have a song called Red Ain't Everything about the Rudolph blues from his perspective. And I'm, I love and this album is very bluesy and funky, and it's a little different from the norm Christmas albums out there. So I'm super excited to release it with Sony. It's really exciting.
I can't wait to listen to it. It's going to be fantastic. I love the fact that you are doing your thing. You are doing your thing. Now, I put your song on here, but I didn't change the word. The word give you. I'm going to try to play Oh my God.
Reverberate.
Reverberate. Yes. So what is that song about?
This is my first single. Oh my God, Reverberate, and the video is now out. It's half animated. It's about that moment when you meet someone but you haven't even kissed yet. It's like that feeling of lust, and that's what this whole song, another sexy song. I mean, this is the theme of the day, and it's like that build up is what Reverberate's about, and that's the first single with So Bold, Stony Orchard, and the music video is really cool. It's filmed here in Philadelphia. That's out, half animated. I'm the only one not animated in it, so it's. I'm really proud of this single. I have had a lot of great press on this.
All right, well, let's play it. Hold on.
I'm patiently waiting. You're up and down. Your young heart wanders to my lost and found. Wake up in the middle of the night to reach your mind. My heart is pumping out my chest, baby, just give me a sign. Your smile reverberates my inside. Your body escalates my desire. Your smile reverberates my inside. Your body escalates my desire. I'm swiftly sedated when you speak your mind. Seductively aching. Why waste more time? The thrill of wonder striking through my soul. Sprinkle your silky love
fantastic. That's the one that you played at the Sim thing, right? At the Sim Jam?
Oh, yeah. That's what I just did with you guys in New York. That was awesome.
Yes,
that was fun there.
Preview. Yeah, no, that was a fun night. That's fantastic. No, I can see it's groovy. And we had a blast at that thing, and you were fantastic.
Oh, my God. My crazy friends were there. Really fun night.
Yes, your friends, your groupies, they were there already.
Oh, they were out of mind that night.
Oh my gosh, it was great because you were funny and you were playing well, you were singing well, and you know what, you know how to roll the punches. So I know that when you get those big audiences, you're on that big stage, they're just gonna have a fabulous time. I think that you could do a course on it because you know how to talk and sing. And just embrace the audience, bring them on the stage with you without having to actually bring them on the stage. So
my thing is, people come out, they pay the ticket, they park, they want to see a show, and when you involve them, I mean, we're thinking as performers, but a lot of these people don't perform. They work in, they have regular jobs, and they don't. When you bring them in, they feel part of the show, and then that'll make them continue coming out, and coming out. Plus, it's fun to mess with people on stage.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Which one of your songs out of your whole catalog is your favorite to perform and why?
Ooh, man, that's a loaded question.
Yeah, it is.
I actually have it from an album from, I think, 2011. It's called Blue Sky, and I actually wrote that about really, the music industry is insane, and there's been a lot of times when people try to change me and try to change my music. And that song is about just being yourself and not letting anybody change you. And for some reason, when I perform that live, the whole crowd always goes crazy because it's a real funky song. And I think it's that song, it's the Blue Sky.
Wow. How is it performing with the Jonas Brothers?
That was fun. That was super fun. They were like super nice, and I mean, they were really nice people. But they, it was funny because I opened for them by myself with a guitar.
Oh wow!
And and their fans were hardcore, so it was fun.
I love that. Okay, I see you're a brand ambassador with Traveler Guitar. How did that come about?
This is wild because I 100% manifested this. This is going to sound crazy, but 3 years before they played Traveler Guitars, I took pictures with them. But by total chance, though, because I didn't tag them or anything, because you would think, I contacted, because I'm known for my baby guitars. I play these tiny guitars, because my brother is the real rocking guitar player in my band. I just do rhythm. And so they contacted me, and it happened. So it's really crazy because I had always wanted to be involved with them. Now I get to perform in California for them and it's just amazing. And they're a great company, and the guitars are fantastic quality.
That's really another thing that you have in your repertoire is you're a smart businesswoman.
Oh yes, I have learned.
That is great. What was it like being on a reality show about your family band? That's interesting. I'd love to know that.
Well, this is the most fun I ever had in my life, probably. It was called The Next Great Family Band. It aired on NBC and Cozy. They came to my parents' house and filmed us. It wasn't like a show where they pit you against each other or anything.
Right.
But that was a blast. And they really showcased the family dynamic. And what's crazy is I got a lot of my tours after that aired because TV really gives you a lot of exposure. And that was just another one I was contacted out of nowhere for. That was one of my many Cheadle adventures.
Wow. You almost have done it all, damn it.
Woo!
There's still more to do.
Always.
Yeah, there's still more adventures. I see you all over the world. What would you say are 3 things you wish you had known before you got into the music industry?
Ooh, that's a good one. if we're talking early career, now I'm like way jaded from the whole thing. I'm just kidding. You know, don't be fooled by glamour, because sometimes the best experiences are hidden behind walls. I don't know what I mean by that, but, glitz and glamour can be very exciting to you. It's not always great. And also really here's one thing, don't burn a bridge, because I'm not just on social media. I go out and I meet people, and I'll tell you what, I met this woman like 10 years ago, and now she's putting me on this tour that I ran into her again because it was such a good impression. Don't burn a bridge. And you know what? Keep your cool. Like at venues, I'm very, 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 very professional. I don't have a drink. I don't do anything when it's like a real important show. Not that was a big issue, but it's, I always say people come out to see you, so why don't you show them a very professional time? Be as professional as possible always.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
What's the third one?
What's up, the third one? I thought I said three. No, I didn't say three.
So maybe my brain's not.
You know what? Look at it. You should judge how people look at you in the eye. That's a big one. I'm real big on energy exchanges. That's a big one, because there's a lot of people that are trying to, I've had old managers that were, not in it for the right reasons with me.
Right.
That's a big, Watch who you put in your energy, because that can really affect your career. Who you're allowing in your.
I agree with you 100% on that. One of the things I always tell people, obviously when people want to try to get into this music industry, they're so not aware of how much work it takes, but also do your due diligence on the people that approach you, because everybody and their mama is going to approach you and say, I can do this for you and I can do that. And some people will steal your money out. I had that experience, and whenever somebody approaches me, I look for their website. I contact the people that work with them. I ask them, how did you like it? Is it worth the money? And then I'll compare them to somebody else and yada, yada. And, one thing that I don't like is when people will contact me and they have these, these a la carte services. That's not what I'm looking for. They're just out there to try to make money. That's some BS. And this one person was just like, well, you don't understand the music business. And I said, yes, I do very well. I just know what I want. And it's not that. It's just crazy how many people will approach you with different things and try to push you. Yeah, to trying to do something that you don't want to do. And then the bottom line with music is that people need to be true to who they are as artists. Don't try to let anybody change you.
Never.
Ever, 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 ever. What would you say? Ever. What would you say are the three useful resources that you like to use all the time that help you throughout your day, throughout your music career?
Resources. I like Music Connection. That's a good one. If we're talking actual. Yeah. I don't know what you mean.
You're like, I like Music Connection. What do you mean by that?
Like what helps me?
Yeah, I mean, there's different resources. Like, for example, you like Music Connection. I use Music Submit, or it could be a mic that you like to use, or somebody that recommended resources that you like that helps you with.
Well, I can't perform without my Sennheiser microphone. They sponsored a tour for me, and it's unreal. This microphone that I use exclusively has my lipstick always all over it, and it's funny because I'm so always in my own world music-wise. I'm always like in the studio doing my own thing, and I kind of forget about the world sometimes.
Right.
But COVID really, I built my own recording studio over COVID, even though my dad had one. So I really am proud of that. And I've been doing a ton of film and TV work through that, virtual stuff like that. I'm just always teaching myself something, so on some random instrument.
Which is very good, because I still need to learn how to play something, damn it.
Yeah, you do.
It's really important. I tried to do learn how to play the guitar, and I felt like a contortionist, and I was like, nope, 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 nope. Then I think it was you playing, or Nikki told me, there's guitars made for women, smaller guitars. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's what I use.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to get back into that. But 5 years ago, I bought a smart keyboard that I was supposed to open. Yes, it's still in the box. And I was supposed to. Yes, you heard me, still in the box. And this year, I said I was going to open it. I was going to open it. I still have time because the year's not over. So December.
No time like the present.
No time like the present. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open that damn box and create. I need to. I think.
What's in the box?
Open the box. I mean, I think obviously my vocal is my instrument, but I think it's really cool when people can play something. It just adds more to the repertoire. It definitely does. So I'm like, oh my God.
Absolutely. It opens up and you're singing and playing to it. And it really will open you up. I mean, just singing the tracks all the time, it can be very difficult if you don't have a band. So I would definitely recommend. Yeah.
So definitely doing that. Now, what is a quote, inspirational quotes or whatever that you like to use to push yourself, if you use any, to motivate yourself?
It's funny. I'm always putting in my stories like manifesting quotes and in Instagram, and I do a hippie thought of the day, which I need to get back on. I did that every day at one point. I'm huge into manifestation. I think where I am in my life at this second, I have manifested every single thing that has come my way. Like, for instance, I just moved back to Philadelphia a year ago. I was like saying I wanted to live in a specific area that I now live in. I brought in really good people in my life. I had Sony music written down 10 years ago in a notebook. So I believe in thought power. Yeah, I'm huge into that. Even romantically, I bring good things in my life now. It's just all things that you put out there, but you really have to believe it.
Amen.
So I believe it. People think it's so simple, but if you wake up every day with a bad attitude, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have a horrible day.
That's right. So, whatever you put out in the universe is what you're going to get back.
You got to take care of your energy and really think about how you feel around certain people, and that'll tell you your answer.
Amen to that. I love it. Woo! Manifestation. Do your work. Yes. Put it out there in the universe. And whatever you do, put love into it. Put your energy, put everything into it, because that's what you're going to get received. Yeah. If you're like hateful and you put hateful stuff, that's what you're going to receive back. And remember that music is very subjective. Not everybody's going to love your stuff, but the right people are going to love your stuff, and you can succeed.
Exactly.
So I agree with you. Thank you, Laura, so much for being on Chatting with Nat. I really appreciate it.
Oh, this is a blast.
You are awesome, as you all know. You are the mostest. You are the mostest.
I'm obsessed with you. You are.
But I love you. I love your personality. I love your energy, and I obviously love your music. We can't wait to have you again once we have another Sim Jam. Hopefully we can take it.
The first one was a success. I can't wait.
The first one was very much a success. And I can't wait to listen to your new holiday album, your Christmas album.
Woohoo!
Jam to it.
Yeah, baby.
All right. If anybody needs to find Laura Cheadle, you go to lauracheadle.com, or she's on Instagram. She's everywhere. Or just Google her, because we can't remember everywhere that we're on. I mean, we're on so many. Just Google her. Google Laura Cheadle. She's amazing. She's awesome, and she's inspiring. Until next time on Chatting with Nat.
Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard.